Good. Okay, this is what we had done. Remember? How do we control fire? Right, Beta? Hello. What can you see? We talked about fire brigade, remember? And this is how a fire brigade works. Can anyone explain, Beta, what is happening? Boys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Introduction.
Yeah. So, can anyone
good
explain what is
morning,
happening?
ma'am.
Yes, Beta?
I know, ma'am, what is happening.
Yeah, tell me.
In the house, there is a fire, and the fireman is
All fire brigades
checking the
is
house.
What happened, Beta? Is there some
Yes,
problem?
ma'am. No,
So, what is happening over here? What can you see? How do you explain?
a fireman is extinguishing the fire inside the house.
Okay, how? How is he doing? How is he doing, Beta? What is he doing? What can you see? How do you explain?
Ma'am, he is extinguishing the fire.
With the help of? You have not completed your statement.
Water.
With the help of water. Yes. But do we know that what is the source of the fire? I think we learned what we learned better. If the source of fire is electricity, yes,
The hydro
or oil,
gas,
then we should not use water, isn't it?
kerosene, petrol.
Yes. We do not know. But still we are using water. But that's the general thing. Because many a times we do not know the source of fire. Do we know the source of fire? Many times when the whole house is on fire, we do not know the source of fire. So that's the only way the fire brigade is called and is actually. At least water will try to reduce the ignition temperature. Remember that? That's what we have learned. The ignition temperature by the water, if it comes down, some of the fire can be controlled. Now, this is another way to control the fire. Can you see this over here? There's a person over here. Can you see this? Yes. So if it is top floor or if it is many storied buildings, and if the fire is on top floors, how can you do that? You can use it by ladders. You can reach over there. So obviously we are using water with a great pressure, so it can go to a far away distance and can control the fire by bringing down the ignition temperature of the fuel. Now, if the house is on fire, the whole house becomes fuel, isn't it better? The complete building will become fuel, isn't it better? So the very first thing that we have to do is to bring down the temperature, right, better? Hello,
yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
yes, can you hear me? Fine. So this is how a fire brigade works. Same. Fireman extinguishing fire using water as extinguisher. Can you see this? A truck is on fire, and because now the whole truck is a fuel, because truck has got tankers, isn't it? Hello? The truck has got a tank where you have to put fuel. But now the truck is on fire. That means the whole truck has become a fuel. So you have to take care. See, that person is not going near the truck. Why? Because the fire can even get into the tank and it can burst into flames. So anyone who is nearby, even they can catch fire. So that's why he's keeping a distance. You understand or not? So why he's trying to extinguish so that the oil which is present in the truck will not catch fire. You understand?
And the air would not be polluted.
Yeah, obviously. That is secondary, but people should not die. There should not be more harm to the nearby property. That is what we are going to first see. pollution, it will see. This is anything on fire is polluting the air. You should know that. Pollution has already started. You understand? Because the tires will also burn, the metal will burn, the plastics inside will burn. Do you understand? Resin, leather, everything will burn. So it is any day getting polluted. Atmosphere is getting polluted. But people should not die and there should not be any loss because if it explodes, anything which is nearby will also be damaged. Isn't it better? You understand?
Yes.
Now, let's see. And if you can
I
explain,
read.
well and good. Okay,
Am I?
Sahil, when you
Yes,
are reading it, see to it that you are understanding also and read it in such a way that even I understand,
yes, I
please.
am
Okay?
understanding.
No, what about me? Even I should understand, no, beta?
Okay,
Okay? So, all of your friends should understand by your reading. And
okay.
again, I'm telling you, I'm allowing you to take up the charge for explanation. This time, I don't want to
I
explain. I
can't
need
explain.
any of you to take up the explanation. Okay, beta? Yes? Please start.
Fire extinguisher. The most common fire extinguisher is water, but water works only when things like wood and paper are on fire. If electrical equipment is on fire, water may conduct electricity and harm those trying to douse the fire.
Douse the fire.
Douse the
Say it again.
fire.
Douse means extinguish. So you
Water is
learned enough.
also not suitable
Sahil, I'm talking to
for.
you.
Yes, understood.
What I said, douse means extinguish.
Yes.
Clear? Yeah.
Water is also not suitable for fires involving oil and petrol. Do you recall that water is heavier than oil, so it sinks below the oil, and oil keeps burning on top? For fires involving electrical equipment and inflammable materials like petrol, carbon dioxide is the best extinguisher. CO2 being heavier than oxygen covers the fire like a blanket.
Did you enjoy it, Sahil?
Mm.
Did you enjoy reading? Hello. Did
Yes,
you enjoy reading?
yes,
Yes. Even we did. What about others? 8th standard.
Yes.
Did you understand? Did you find a difference in
Yes.
Sahil? Did you find difference in him? Well done, Sahil. Excellent. It was wonderful today, Vita. I don't know about others, but I enjoyed. So now the next question is, and this is the way 8th standard, I want all of you to improve in reading. Okay, beta? Now Sahil is improved completely. So next is, who will do the explanation? Now he has read it. If he can explain well and good, otherwise I want others also to take part. Yes, beta. Who will explain? Hello, who will explain, beta? Or do you want me to explain? Answer me.
Yeah, you must.
You want me to explain? Let's go line by line. So if at all I say, okay, there's fire, what comes to your mind? Water, right, beta? What comes to your mind? Water. You see fire, take water and put on that, douse the fire. We already know that water only works when there's a fire with wood and paper. If paper is on fire, water will be applicable. If wood is on fire, water will be applicable. But
ma'am.
if electrical equipment, yes, beta?
I have a doubt. That, in home, the fire is
Home,
caused by
not in home.
electrical.
Sahil, at home. Do
Yes,
not
at
use the
home.
preposition in.
The
In is wrong.
yes, at
It is
home,
at.
the fire is caused by electrical equipment Then
Yes.
the fire
No, no
brigade,
water.
fire brigade brings the water.
Yes. Yes. But then you have to let them know. Whenever you will see, you will call the fire brigade and tell them that you get the other extinguisher with carbon dioxide. Are you understanding? To get the
Yes,
cylinder also. The first they will infuse, not infuse, first they will try to extinguish with the cylinder and then they will use the water. Because
yes.
water is essential. First they will use the cylinder, they will break it and put carbon dioxide so that electrical equipments from where the sparks are coming, that will be controlled. And later, because the electrical equipments, there's a short circuit and the house is on fire. So first
Yes,
you will control that electrical or the sparks, and then you will control the fire led by the sparks. And that will be controlled only by water. Because you cannot use 1,000 cylinders for controlling the fire of a building. You can't do that. First,
yes,
you have to control the sparks and then you have to control the fire led by the sparks by putting water. Is this clear?
yes, ma'am. Clear.
Because water is essential better to bring down the temperature of the
Okay.
fuel, isn't it better?
Yes.
Cylinder will not bring down the temperature. It will only control the fire by the electrical equipment. But to bring down the ignition temperature of the fuel, water is the only ultimatum,
Okay,
the
ma'am.
only
Understood.
option. Okay, better. Thank you.
Yes.
Any other problem?
No.
No, I'm asking others better, your friends. Is there
Okay,
any other
ma'am.
problem with you people? 8th standard, do you want to ask me any questions?
No, ma'am.
You know everything? That means you know everything better? Then now you have to teach me. Okay. Now if electrical equipment is on fire, so you can't use water. Why? Because you know that water is a good conductor of electricity. So we will be electrocuted. We can get the electrical shock because the electricity can travel from there, from the building to you, and we will be electrocuted. We will get shocked. So we may die also. The firemen may die also because you know the water conducts electricity. Also, if the water, not water, sorry, if the fire is due to oil or petrol, we cannot use water. I think we have learned that if you are using water, the fire spreads more, isn't it? So the purpose is not served. So we cannot use water when the fire is involving oil and petrol. Why? Because you know that whenever we use water, being heavier than oil, water will go down. The purpose is not served. You are not able to extinguish. Moreover, it is other way around. It is increasing fire because the oil it spreads when you spray water on it. The oil spreads and the fire also spread. Being heavier than oil, water will sink below the oil. And I actually sprayed water on oil for extinguishing. But now what is happening? Now what is happening, beta? Oil keeps burning, and when I spray water on it, it spreads more. So actually, I'm helping fire to spread more by putting water. Why should we do that? Okay, beta? So whenever there is a fire involving electrical equipment or oil like petrol, what we should use with a carbon dioxide. What should come to your mind? Carbon dioxide cylinder. So what you see that the triangular shape uh, everywhere, you know, like this triangular shape cylinders in the school, in public buildings, in hospitals, in banks, anywhere, big institutions. So this is for fire safety. You have to break it. Carbon dioxide comes out in the pressure and it can control the fire in no time. So what is the best extinguisher for oil and for electrical equipment? It is carbon dioxide. We already know that why carbon dioxide is heavier than oxygen. Remember that.
And
Oxygen
then,
is lighter. So it makes a blanket around the fuel. What it does with
and
that? It makes a
sand is
blanket.
also used for extinguishing fire.
Yes, yes, carbon dioxide. is used for extinguishing fire because you know that oxygen is helping fire. Oxygen is helping for
No, ma'am,
combustion.
I said
That
that sand is also used for extinguishing
know that
fire.
I know that, but always you don't have sand. You have sand with you,
No,
so so that's what I'm saying. Yes, it can be used, but from where will you get sand? What I am right now telling you, whatever is applicable, that only we will use. Is this clear? So what is this carbon dioxide doing? It is cutting off the connectivity of oxygen, which is in the atmosphere, with the fuel, so that it covers, it obstructs. By making a blanket, it is not allowing oxygen to go to the fuel. That's how it can contain the fire. Understood, better? Understood?
Yes.
Just read better.
Okay, ma'am. I did, ma'am. Salat made.
Yes, yes. Anyone, all of you are invited. All of you are welcome.
And give shot. But contact between the fuel and oxygen is cut off. The fire is controlled. The added advantage of CO2 is that in most cases it does not harm the electric equipment. How do we get the supply of carbon dioxide? It can be stored at high pressure as a liquid in cylinders. In what form is the LPG stored in cylinders when?
Is
No,
there a
what is
question mark?
when के बाद क्या मैम
You
ये
are just a moment. You are not
around
stopping
the
at the full
cylinders
stop. You are not
CO2.
stopping at the comma and no question mark. If you read like this, I will ask you to stop. Sanraj,
Okay.
what did you learn when Sahil was
Yes.
reading? I appreciated Sahil. I want to appreciate Sanraj also, but I'm not able to do so. Why? Ask yourself.
Yes.
What have you learned when Sahil was reading, beta? Are you understanding what I'm saying?
yes,
Okay.
Yes? Then follow it. Do it accordingly. Yes or no? Don't read it as you want
Yes.
to. No, sorry. You are a leader of this class, and I want you to be so confident that everybody should be able to understand from you.
Yes.
Change your attitude better. You are not reading for yourself, you are reading for the whole class, including me. And I should not point fingers at you at all. That Sanraj, you are not doing well. Sanraj, you're going wrong over here. No, I'm not supposed to do that with her. So now Sanraj will be serious in reading. Is this clear?
Okay.
When released from the cylinder, continue better.
CO2 expands more slowly in volume and cools down. So, it not only forms a blanket around the fire, it also brings down the temperature of the. That is why it is an excellent fire extinguisher.
How are you pronouncing this better? How do you pronounce this? Sanraj, I'm asking you.
It,
You are pronouncing it like
it,
this. How are you pronouncing it? How do you pronounce this?
it,
How do you pronounce it? Tell me. What have you written?
it.
Say eat. How do you pronounce it? Eat. Right, beta? The same way you are pronouncing this one. Do you understand? That's
Yes.
why I asked you. That's why I asked you to stop. This is it and this is eat. You are pronouncing it as eat. Stop it. Is this clear? So this one is it and that is eat. That is the difference. Fine. Who will explain better? Anyone wants to explain? Or should I take on? Should I take on or you will explain? I'm waiting. Don't waste time.
Take on,
Huh?
take on.
Take on. Okay. That is Sufyan. Is that you, Sufyan?
Yes, ma'am.
Now what? Why are we using the fire extinguisher? The very first reason is that the connectivity or the contact of oxygen from the air should be stopped. That's the first thing that a fire extinguisher does. You agree? Do you agree, all of you? Yes? So
Yes.
when oxygen is not reaching the fuel, so obviously it will be put off automatically because there is no presence of oxygen. Moreover, fire gets controlled. And when I'm putting carbon dioxide, it is not harming the electrical equipment, remember that. But if you put water, it will harm the electrical equipment. Now the question is, how do we use this carbon dioxide? We get carbon dioxide in cylinders. Where do we get better? In cylinders. How? So much of carbon dioxide. How can we put in cylinder? What we
It
do?
is compressed.
High pressure, exactly. We put it in high pressure, and when you put gas in high pressure, it changes to liquid, like LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Yes, beta? What is
And when
LPG?
we
The same,
release the pressure, it turns into dry ice.
to gas. Yes. Now, did you understand this?
Yes.
So, when you put high pressure to the gas, it turns to liquid. And when it's released, it becomes gas. Do you understand? It becomes foam. Same way LPG is stored in cylinders. And when it is releasing from the cylinder, see it is in a small volume and suddenly it expands and then it cools down. So when it is cooling down, it becomes a blanket around the fire and it is getting down to temperature below the ignition temperature and then it behaves like a wonderful fire extinguisher. You want to ask me anything? Hello?
No,
Wait.
carbon dioxide is also a very effective extinguisher
Now,
in all the
Sufyan,
cases.
Sufyan,
Yes, ma'am.
now the way you read, you have to change. You have to change your method of reading. The way I kept on pointing out to Sahil so many times, and now he has become perfect. Same way I'm going to do with Sandraj and you. Whatever things I pointed out at Sandraj, it should not be repeated in your ways. Is this clear?
Yes,
Secondly, you heard Sahil. I will not say that you try to copy, but you try to learn from him how he read it out. Is this clear? So the way you're rushing, first that you have to stop because I don't understand what you read. So you're not reading for yourself, but you're reading for us. That should be kept in mind. Okay? Use your punctuations properly, methodically. and make your reading interesting. Is this clear?
Yes.
Please.
Carbon dioxide is also a very effective extinguisher in all the cases, especially involving electrical appliances and oil, as in such cases water cannot be used.
Now, fire extinguisher which has got carbon dioxide is a wonderful fire extinguisher everywhere. Especially, it is used for electrical appliances and oil. Is this clear? Because you cannot use water. So when you cannot use water for certain fire, what you will use? You will use this carbon dioxide fire extinguisher. Understood? This is how it looks like. You can see over here, these are the symbols. Saw this? Understood all of you?
Yes, sir.
So if I ask you, what is this fire extinguisher has? What you will say? Carbon dioxide. What you will say?
Carbon dioxide.
Now you know what this fire extinguisher has. Okay, beta? Okay?
We must never use water to put out an oil fire because oil floats on water and the fire would spread more. We must never use water to put out an electric fire because the person spraying water can receive an electric shock.
Can you? I think we have already learned about this, but still, can anyone explain? I will not do that now. One of you, please take it. Who will explain? Class 8 standard. Who will explain better? Sanraj,
Yes, ma'am.
can you explain? Sahil,
We must never use water to put out an oil fire.
you're not supposed to read it. Form your own words, own sentences. We have already read it out. We must never use water. You have already read it out. Why are you reading it again? A form in you are making me understand. Now you have read it, but I don't understand. How you will make me understand? Do that. Okay? Done.
We should not use water to extinguish the fire, to
Okay?
extinguish the oil
Why?
fire, because
Why?
oil floats on water
Okay. And then what happens?
and and then fire would spread more.
Why? Because the water will go down. It will breaking the oil. So oil will spread more. Is this clear? I told you.
Yes.
If this is water and the oil is on top, if I'm spraying water, so it will break and it will spread more. Isn't it better? The water will go down from here and it will break and it will spread more. The what's the area of fire will increase. Next,
We should also not use the water to extinguish the electric fire because the person who is spraying the water can also get electric shock.
all of you understood?
Yes.
Yes.
Methods of controlling fire. First, by using water.
Slowly. Go slowly. Go slowly.
Water is the most common fire extinguisher. It can be used only when materials like wood, paper, etc. are on fire. Water cannot be used if electrical equipment are on fire because water conducts electricity and can harm those trying to put out the fire. Water cannot be used to put out oil and petrol fires because they float on water and continue to burn.
Is this clear?
Yes,
Same thing repeated. All of you understood better?
yes,
Yes.
A standard? All of
Yes.
you understood? The same thing is repeated. As a part of revision, I've taken this slide. Now we have seen fire breather, that is water, and we have seen carbon dioxide also as a cylinder. Now we are going to revise it. Read it. Tell me what is the extra information you got, because you have to explain to me. It's for Sahil, Sanraz and others as well. When Sufyan is reading, find out what extra information that you can give it to me. Okay? Read.
Second, by using carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is the best fire extinguisher to put out fire caused by inflammable materials like oil and petrol and electrical equipment. Carbon dioxide is heavier than air and it covers the fire and cuts off the supply of oxygen and puts out the fire. Carbon dioxide is stored at high pressure as liquid in cylinders. Chemicals like sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, potassium bicarbonate produce carbon dioxide near the fire.
What information you got? Just all of you had said that when you are reading, you should understand what are the extra information that you got from here.
Carbon dioxide,
It's used for oil and petrol, right?
yes, and
And
it
it
is the
does the
best
supply of
fire
oxygen.
extinguisher.
Fine. Now, what extra information you got? What is
It is
inside it?
produced from sodium bicarbonate, baking soda,
Exactly,
and potassium
exactly.
bicarbonate.
So this is the extra information that we got from here. Is this clear, beta? So it is placed
Yes.
as liquid in the cylinder, and the chemicals that we are using is sodium bicarbonate, that is baking soda, and potassium bicarbonate. And what it comes out as carbon dioxide. After reaction, what comes out? Carbon dioxide when we spray the fire spread by the electrical equipment. Is this clear? Is this clear, beta?
Yes.
What is
Yes.
the formula of sodium bicarbonate? Sodium HCO3. You understand? So the sodium bicarbonate. This is the formula of the baking soda. Now you see types of combustion. Hello, start reading, beta. We don't have time.
Types of combustion. There are three main types of combustion. There are number one, rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, explosion.
Explosion. I said read.
Explosion. Okay. Rapid
Can anyone else
combustion.
start reading? It's
It
taking so
is
much of time.
is combustion in which a substance burns rapidly and produces heat and light with the help of external heat. Example, burning of LPG. Spontaneous combustion. In combustion in which a substance burns spontaneously and produces heat and light without the help of external heat. Example, phos- phosphorus burns.
Phosphorus. Now you have to improve your reading. Please stop it. Who is it? Who is reading? Who is reading?
Sunraj.
Sandra. Sandra, you have to improve a lot. I'm sorry to say that. I don't want any repetition. You are repeating the word so many times. The first thing that you have to stop. So keep on practicing at home till you stop repeating. I will be asking you, but then I will stop you in between. I will not ask you to continue. Is this clear? You are heading a class, but I don't want a leader to do like this. Whoever reads is a leader. And I want a bit of perfection, please. So I think we will redo this slide again. Okay, beta? Not able to finish?
Okay.
No, we cannot because it's already time up, beta. Okay? Fine. And whatever information we are giving in your class link, please work accordingly, beta, so that you don't get burdened up later. Whenever I'm giving you any information, within 2 days you finish it up. Is this clear? Is this clear? Whenever I give you any question answers, try to wind it up in 2 days, not more than that. Is this clear, beta? Hello? Hello?
Ma'am,
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this clear? So have a good day, beta, and enjoy.
good day,
Bye
ma'am.
bye.
Bye. Good day. Have a nice day.
Bye bye, ma'am.
Happy World 11 Day.